There we go. Wrong side. There we go. Naturally, the tree has to go right in front of it. Yeah, in a second. Let's see if this is working. myself or not. Yes, I can, okay. Just testing this out here. Crank up the noise here. Seems to be in good shape. That's as good as I can get it for right now. Right. Shift this over. Some of the views that we got. Just looking at these images, just putting them up on here. What?
It's almost 12.
I know it is.
Can I come get your cookie?
Yes, I'll get my cookie. Okay, I'm going to try to see if this works over here. Alright, so I am testing the sound now and making sure that everything works here. So right now I am just using the travel mount with the travel laptop, as I had to get everything all set up and ready to go. Right now I have the Canon camera along with the T7, and this is again for just wide field. This is not up and like it's magnified. Right now the moon is behind the trees. As you can tell, it's just ready to just peek over the trees. I had the wide field going too at the same time. Again, this is not perfect for moon viewing, for lunar or anything. This is just good for the Milky Way. It's good for getting constellations and whatnot. So I'm just trying a few things out. The home setup I have yet to touch, and I will be doing that very shortly. I just wanted to get this up and running, and I'm glad that I did. Just want to see if I have sound. Okay, we do have sound. Okay, good. Alright. Excellent. So again, not the greatest in the entire world right now, but I do have a 90mm Cassegrain that I can put on this. I also have a 114mm reflector I can put on this, and I do have planetary cameras that I can use to get magnification on the moon. I just wanted to test the stream to see how it is. I'm running off of Wi-Fi right now, using just solely power backup and just making sure that everything runs perfectly fine. I have the home setup, which is the 80mm apochromatic refractor along with a Sigma lens that I can guide off of that, and then I use that for long exposure photography. But again, this is just getting the moon. But of course it's behind the trees, like you saw earlier. And Mars is looking pretty bright right now, as it sits roughly about 15 degrees, maybe just under 20 degrees from where the moon is right now. And like if you were looking at a clock, it's sitting at about 4:30, 5 o'clock from where the moon is. And it is bright because it is at opposition right now, which is super awesome. I want to thank P&K Imaging or Space Imaging for mentioning my name and whatnot, and just I'll probably be joining them in the next coming weeks, as I want to get a few things set for Skype, Hangouts and whatnot, and trying to see if I can get on their stream. Should be soon, as actually tonight's the first night it's been clear in 12 days. So 12 days, and we're finally starting to break through. There are some clouds in the vicinity, but it looks like they're just passing through. Let me, for some odd reason, let me close the camera and then reattach it. Hang on, I can reattach it here. And I closed it and reattached it. Let's see if that works here. Alright, let's try that. Now the views that the T7 I got, which is off of a ZWO driver, I've gotten of the Milky Way has actually been pretty good. Went out to North Java and actually picked that up, and it was Milky Way turned out extremely well. I was very, very, very happy with that, and it turned out extremely well. Let me just change magnification on this. There's the moon right there. And Mars should be sitting just below that, hiding in the trees here. Mars should be sitting, let's see it, try 250% here. Is that there? Mars is just a little bit below that, I think. Try 200% here. Yeah, Mars is just a little bit below that, actually. Maybe if I can move this down here. We're almost out of the trees here. We're oh so close from out of the trees, and we are just about ready. It's over there. Yeah, I love this T7 camera. It's a really, really good wide field camera that you can get in dark sky sites. The thing that you can get with this is a 60-second exposure. That's as long as you could do, and you can run darks and flats right off of it, and then you can actually apply it to the actual image, which will actually create pretty much a clear image. As you can see here, there is really nothing. There's Mars right there. Mars is just starting to come off of that piece of the tree right there, and you'll be able to see it. It's just hiding behind that tree. And yes, I know I still have to activate my Windows. It's been a while since I've used this laptop, so I got to try to get this and get this going. You can actually increase the exposure, you can actually see more of it. And Mars is just sitting right there. You're going to be able to see it come through. Let me change the magnification down to 125. And you can see a lot of the sky with this. This is a really, really good camera. For it being so cheap, it's not bad at all. And then I have the Canon camera on the right, which I've gotten North American Nebula with because it is a modified camera. And it's on a zoom lens. It's not the greatest lens in the world, but it has done the trick for me for 35 millimeters. This is actually... I zoomed it all the way in, and I think it's at 200 millimeters. So I can't go any further for zooming. There's Mars right there. And I can actually bring down the exposure here. There they are, right there. And you can actually see the two right there. That's so cool. And we can bring the gain out. Whoa! You actually see the trees. I'll also be using this camera to do live videos of meteor showers. So you'll be able to see this in live view. Like this right here is running live view, which is really great. And you'll be able to see things coming across the sky. And of course, with the moon wouldn't be there, but it would be really cool. So I'm just running just a quick test here. Make sure you let me know how everything is. I have it on my phone, so just making sure that everything is running in great shape here. And they're saying that the sound might be a bit loud. So let me bring the sound down. Bringing it down. How about right about here? This should be good. Airplane! There is an airplane going right through. It's going to actually go right between Mars and the moon. Boom! Right in the moon. I'm just kidding. Well, bam! Yeah, so this is actually going to turn out really good when I do the meteor showers. Yeah, we're outside. Motorcycles. Now, of course, the next meteor shower that's going to be coming up is the Perseids. And with the Perseid meteor shower, the active peak date is August 12th, which is coming up roughly about 15 days from now. If the weather is clear, I'll be using this camera on the left, and then I'll be using the other camera on the right, and I will be shooting the night sky all night. And I will see if I can catch as many meteors as I possibly can. I am going to try to see if I can go to a dark sky site, because hopefully I can get something. The best thing to do is when you go and do meteor shower for the shooting stars is to go to a dark sky site, and most likely it's after midnight is the best time. So between 12 and like 3 a.m. is like the best time to get meteors. So from here, you probably won't see a bunch, but this is probably the second best meteor shower of the year. The best one is in December, but of course it's like 10 degrees outside, so if you really want to go and see them, bundle up, because it's very, very cold. But the Perseids is always an amazing show to watch. I watched them last year from North Java, and it was fantastic. This year I actually have the equipment to do it, and I will be getting wide field shots as much as possible. I'll be pointing in different parts of the sky, trying to do as much as I can. And of course today was the lunar eclipse. The next lunar eclipse is January 21st, 2019. And it will be visible in the Americas. And it will be visible here. So again, if it's clear, I will do everything in my power to get that from here, and I will do a live show from there. So hopefully it will be clear. So just want to make sure that everything is still running in good shape. Yeah, meteor showers are amazing. When I was at North Java last Wednesday, the 18th, I caught 3 of them. One of them I got on video, and I actually put that on the video for my YouTube page on this one here, and I actually caught it, and it was absolutely fantastic. And I think it was the beginning of the Perseid meteor shower. The peak is August 12th, but they start as early as July 7th and can go all the way into mid-September. So for the next month and a half to 2 months, you'll be able to see stranglers of meteors, which is actually pretty cool. You just have to just point it in the right direction, which is really cool. And the best way to do that, to actually see where they are, is if you go to my website, which is elliot-astronomy.com, and I'll actually pull that up on here so you'll be able to see it. I'll just pull up my website so this way everybody will be able to see it. A great program to use for your phone is what's called Sky Safari 4, and that's right here. If you have iOS, you can actually just click right here, and you can actually download it straight from the actual website, straight here. And then there's the Android, which is also here too. So if you have an Android phone, this will be right here. In my opinion, Sky Safari 4 I think is the best application for phones. They have 5 and they also have 6. But 4 to me I think was the best. Now of course it doesn't have all the wonderful features as 5 and 6, but to me 4 does the trick. I like it. And again, you can actually go right through on my website and actually click it. So like if you were to go on your phone, just click submit and it'll go right to the actual iOS or Android marketplace. If you get bored sometime, you can always check out my episodes from previously. I have an entire library starting from the first time I ever did it, which was back in 2016. I started it in May of 16, which is right there, May 10th. And then each one has a certain object that I did. So for instance, if you wanted to see M45, which everybody loves M45, that's the Pleiades, you can actually click it, you can watch the condensed episode or watch the mini episode, and it'll take you right to YouTube from there. And the same thing with this year, I've only done 2, but they're all right there. And this is a great, wonderful library of each object. So if you have a favorite object out there, like some people, like the Bubble, North America, Bode's Nebula, Iris, Ring Nebula, Whirlpool. I even tried to shoot a comet, which was awesome. Wizard, Bubble again. And of course this is with different equipment over the last 2 years. So it's something that, you know, if you ever get bored, you can always take a look. And then it has the last video that I did, which was the Milky Way, which is right there. That was the time lapse, which is right here. So everything is all here. I do have P and K space imaging right here. I'm going to be updating that so that way you can always watch previous episodes of them, which they do the live viewing of the moon. I will keep that library up and running, so this way you can always click to enter to go right to their YouTube channel from there. Another great thing that I have here is what's called the light pollution map. And what the light pollution map is, if you ever want to see what your light pollution is from where you're located, you can always check it to see. And I have a little key down here at the bottom, which is your natural brightness. So if you're inner city, it's 2700%, going all the way down to less than 1%, which is natural darkness, that's what you want. You want to be in the black. So it's really cool. This is something that, you know, you can check anywhere around the world. And I can zoom this out so that way you can see. So you can see that's the Washington area, Pennsylvania. That's all United States. It even has Europe, Africa, and Asia. It has everywhere. And you can always type it and search in a place, like the place that I'm going to be heading to in September is called Cherry Springs State Park. Hit enter, and it will take you right to it. And there it is, right there, Cherry Springs State Park. It's a designated dark sky place right near Coudersport. So you can type in anything and it will find it for you to see where the actual brightness for artificial for light pollution. So it's really cool. And I also have my wonderful clear sky chart, which you can see that actually coming up tomorrow is supposed to be clear. So I'll be back out here tomorrow too. And then if you have a lot of fun, you can always check out your birth date and check out how much you weigh. For your international viewers, you can see for kilograms, you just type this in here. So for instance, if I'm 100 kilograms, it will actually tell you as 220 pounds, and then you would just type in 220 pounds. I just can't type today. And then you would just calculate it, and it will tell you exactly what everything is just based off of calculation there. So it's something really cool to take a look at. So that's the website in a nutshell. Make sure you're always subscribing. Make sure you tell people, share. And I have a whole bunch of stuff in the library. And I'll be adding a lot more stuff in the next coming weeks. And there's some clouds coming through. Look at that. And those clouds are whipping through. That is really cool. And you can see it coming through where the moon is too on this one too. Let me just move it just a little bit here. There we go. Move it up just a little bit. Right about there. So it's running really well, and I'm very excited that this is running good. And of course, naturally, I'll be tweaking a lot of things over the next coming days and making sure that this is going to be flawless. And as events come through, I'll be putting them on my website. And I'll make sure, like if there's an eclipse, or if there's an occultation, or if there's a meteor shower, or anything like that, I will add that on my website. So then this way everybody knows what the next big thing is coming up. As I said before, January 21st, 2019 is the next lunar eclipse. That will be right here. That you could see that all the way from Maine all the way to Florida. You'll be able to see it, which is going to be amazing. The transit of Venus is next year. That's another good one. I'm going to try to see if I can get that one. So there's going to be a lot of good things coming up in the next few months. Look at this big cloud's going to be coming right at the moon. It's going to hit it. It's going to get it. There it goes. Yeah, and tracking for this is actually not too bad at all. It is not bad for a cheap mount. The mount that I'm using right now is an iOptron Smart Cube A, and it's not a bad mount. As long as you keep it level and I attached a polar scope to the top of it, I can get roughly 2 to maybe 2.5 minute exposures, which is not bad for unguided. And for planetary, it runs like a dream, because naturally you're going to be shooting at something that is not moving that much. So I can keep this moon in view for at least an hour without having to touch it, which is great. And eventually what I'm going to do is I have to set up a bunch of things here, make it look nice and pretty, rather than just looking at the screen of 2 things and then jumping back and forth. I will get this up and running. I have it set up on the home scope, but I haven't had a chance to get it all set up and ready to go. So it may take me some time to get this set up. I want to do that tomorrow afternoon and get this all nice and pretty. But like what I do in my home setup is I do guiding, and I actually have a guide center. I have a whole bunch of stuff that you'll be able to see, and everything is all up front. This way you don't have to see me going back and forth. So I'm going to end this broadcast. I just wanted to test a few things, which actually is running really, really well. I'm very happy that it's running well. And we're at about an hour, so I just want to just go through, and then I'll be back out here tomorrow. I will see if I can contact P&K Space Imaging and see if I can somehow correspond with them. Maybe I can show them what I can do with that, with what they can do.